Alex's birthday. I noticed early that day as we stopped in the small European town of Colmar, France, that Alex moved a little slower than usual. It was a quiet morning, the streets emptying into soft sunlight, shops opening slowly, and the town holding its own gentle rhythm. The kind of day that doesn't rush, yet carries all the small details in perfect clarity. Alex retrieved a newspaper. Not that he reads them often, more like a habit when the world feels big and he wants a tiny anchor. His eyes drifted across the page, and then, almost absent-mindedly, he muttered, "Oh, it's my birthday today." He had forgotten, not in a dramatic way, just that life had moved along and this day had slipped quietly past him. There was no fanfare, no demand for celebration. He folded the paper, tucked it under his arm, and went about his duties. The travelers and townsfolk he guided often didn't notice the subtle curve of his smile or the faint warmth in his eyes. Alex didn't dwell on it. He didn't linger in self-reflection. He simply existed in the moment, as he always did. I watched him with a quiet satisfaction. There was something tender about a person who barely notices themselves while carrying the weight of others. And I had decided, long before he even realized it, that tonight that quiet weight would be met with a little warmth in return. The day stretched on, slow and kind. Alex moved among the streets and market stalls, helping those in need, giving directions, lifting boxes, smiling quietly when someone thanked him. The townsfolk respected him for his skill and his gentleness, though he never sought their attention. That wasn't Alex. I spent the day preparing quietly, arranging what few things we had for a proper celebration. A small cake, candles, a few decorations I could gather without making too much noise, enough to say, "We see you, Alex," without overwhelming him. As evening approached, I noticed Alex's steps slow as he returned to the tavern. He hadn't asked for anything, hadn't requested a single thing, and yet, when the door opened, he noticed it. The subtle warmth that wasn't usually here, the faint flicker of light through the window, and the quiet murmurs of voices waiting. He froze, not out of alarm, but because he wasn't sure what to do with this attention. His cheeks flushed faintly, just enough to show the world had gently pushed against the shell he always carried. His eyes darted from candle to candle, then to the small group gathered, and finally landed on me. I smiled, a simple, soft gesture. "Happy birthday, Alex," I said. No fanfare, no speeches, just honesty. Alex's response was quiet. A nod, a soft, almost inaudible "thank you." He didn't know the words to express gratitude in this spotlight. He never had, but his eyes shone, and that was enough. He moved through the gathered friends and townsfolk with gentle politeness, offering small smiles and slight bows, making no grand gestures. He accepted each of their cheers and kind words with a bashful nod, letting the warmth surround him without asking for it, because that was Alex. Supportive, selfless, ever gentle, and never the center of attention unless it was unavoidable. I stood back, tending the fire, letting the night hold him as he had often held so many others. The candles burned low, the cake was eaten in near silence, laughter shared quietly, smiles soft but real. Alex didn't call attention to himself. He didn't command the moment. He simply existed among friends, and they existed with him, and that alone was enough. After the final song was hummed quietly and the tavern returned to its usual calm, Alex settled in near the fire. His hands held a mug of a warm drink. His posture relaxed for the first time that day. He glanced around, and for once I thought he noticed not the work, not the travelers, not the tasks, but himself, just enough to feel seen. He looked at me, cheeks lightly flushed, and quietly said, "Thank you for remembering my day." I poured a quiet drink of my own, tending the flames as the night deepened. There was no need for words, no need for applause. Sometimes the smallest recognition is the most profound. And Alex, who had gone through life quietly without expectation, simply let the warmth fill him, letting the night remind him that he was appreciated and quietly celebrated. I watched him, content. This is the tavern's magic, you see. Small, subtle, unassuming, and kind. Some nights the world notices a traveler without announcement. Some nights a birthday passes quietly, yet leaves a mark that echoes long after the candles are gone. I stayed where I was. The fire was low, the tavern warm, and Alex, quietly, bashfully, resting in the small glow we had all given him.